You don't have to believe every thought that says you're behind. And my goodness, don't we have a lot of those thoughts? We have an awful lot of thoughts that create overwhelm. I've been speaking about them this week quite a bit. Thoughts like you have to do it all now, or you're never going to get it all done. You need to go faster, which can really bring about an awful feeling of urgency in the body, can't it? And when I say you don't have to believe every thought that says you're behind, what I actually mean is you don't have to believe any of them. Because I fundamentally believe that you can't really be behind. I mean, for many of you that are watching this, you're actually self-employed. So I always think we make our own worst bosses, don't we? Because we create a list of things, we set deadlines for ourselves and then beat ourselves up for not meeting those deadlines. But this is an opportunity to start seeing through those stories. There's a liberating idea in all of this, and that is that thought is not truth. Like, I can't really remember the first time I came across that as a thing, but it actually blew my mind. It blew my mind that my thoughts that I, held in such high esteem really for much of my life, and whether that was thoughts about me or thoughts about other people or thoughts about the world and how it should be different to how it is, I thought they were true for such a long time. I mean, why would I think otherwise? They'd done me right really for a long time. I had got praise for being right. Particularly in school, if you think about it, we get a lot of praise for being right, don't we? For believing our thoughts, for thinking up the right answer and getting that praise for being right. And so we grow to just believe every single thing that goes across our heads. And what if we began to poke a few holes in that? What if we started to see that in a really different way? I know for me and for some of my clients that there can be a feeling of panic that comes up when we think that we're behind. We think we're supposed to be further on than we are. But something magical happens when we see through that thought. We settle, I think. We sort of start to see that there's a cloud gone across the lens, really. There's a cloud gone across the sky. I'm sort of looking at the moment out the window. Beyond me, I have big patio doors just beyond me, and the weather is just beautiful. I think when I finish this video, I might just escape outside. But when there are clouds, no doubt they'll be back at some point. It's seeing that that's what our experience is, really, that there is this beautiful blue, spacious expanse. It's light, it's bright, it's freedom. And that thoughts that we're believing are just passing across that. And as we begin to change our relationship with our thoughts, when we begin to just question them a little bit, they start to flow much more easily. They sort of move through. And a beautiful thing to ask often is this true? Is this really true? Thought does not equal truth. At all. Ever. Wow. That's mind-blowing, isn't it? All that thought is a sort of filter of our experience. Giving us a reality, creating for us a reality. And often when it comes to overwhelm, which is what I've been exploring a lot this week, it brings about some really heavy, uncomfortable feelings in our body. It's not nice. It really isn't nice. It really is uncomfortable. But I want you to see those feelings as a gift. You know, a gift from your body. To just point out the fact that you are believing a thought that isn't true. You know, thoughts like you're behind, like you're not doing enough, you can do more. I know my inner critic always says more. It says it's not enough. You're not doing enough. You're not being enough. You're not working hard enough. You could definitely do more. You know, a bit of what's wrong with you here. But that isn't the truth. It's just a misunderstanding. And maybe at some point in the past that was of use to us, because maybe to stay in good stead with our parents and carers, we did have to. You know, it seemed like we had to do more. We had to keep up. We had to do what they wanted us to do. But there's a real irony to it, because I definitely have had that kind of busy, stay busy, keep busy, go faster thoughts, like probably my whole life. But do you know what? Because they brought about such a level of discomfort in my body, I was talking about this earlier when I did a live on Insight Timer. Because they brought about such a discomfort in my body, what then happened was that I procrastinated because I wanted to avoid that awful feeling, and I thought the awful feeling was coming from some task. But actually the awful feeling was coming from me thinking I was behind in that task, or not good enough to do that task, or not doing enough of that task, or not working hard enough, or whatever it was. And that would just have me avoid so much that I was saying today, I was that girl doing her homework in the corridor on the morning it was due in, on a very, very regular basis. And back to your body, that kind of urgent feeling that can come up, it's letting you know you've got urgent thinking. And I think when you think you're behind, that's what the feeling is, isn't it? For a long time, I thought urgency meant go fast. I thought that thought, which brought about a horrible feeling in my body, you're behind, meant, well, I'll have to go faster then. I have to go faster. I have to do more. Well, I won't have time to have lunch today, and I won't have time to go for a walk, and I won't have time to even drink enough water or go to the loo because I'm behind. I've got to keep going. And now I see that so differently. I see the feeling of urgency is letting me know I've got some thinking I'm believing, some urgent thinking that isn't true. And then I can pause and take a breath and not be afraid anymore. I can move forward then. I invite you to do that. I invite you to take that breath, feel your feet on the floor, pause for a moment. Because I guarantee that you will not be putting the best of you out into the world if you're doing things from this place of feeling behind and feeling urgent and feeling like you've got to go faster, faster, faster. Or you'll be doing lots of things that are not that important. I know that's where I tend to go. And you know, maybe this video is helpful. Maybe it's an opportunity to pause in the middle of whatever mental storm you're going through right now, because we all go through them. But I emphasize again, you don't have to believe every thought. In fact, believe the least thoughts you possibly can that says you're behind. You don't have to believe that. And can you ask when you feel that discomfort in your body, and you notice there's a certain type of thinking whizzing through your head, ask yourself, is it true? Go into that inquiry from a non-judgmental, curious place. Please don't get into beating yourself up for believing thoughts because we all do. That's a really, really normal thing to do, is to believe our thinking. I really hope this has been helpful in some way, shape or form. Yeah, let me know. Let me know in the comments if it's helpful. Let me know what you're noticing about believing thoughts that are not true, particularly around the idea that you've not done enough yet, or it's not, it's not, you've not done the right thing, or you're behind in some way. What kind of things come up for you around this? And can you notice that feeling of urgency in your body? It's letting you know that you're believing thoughts that aren't true. I really hope this has been super, super helpful.